This is lesson 8.3, which is on representing linear functions. So just a couple of warm-up problems. Number 1 says graph the ordered pairs, and we're given 3 different ordered pairs. Just a couple reminders about ordered pairs. We write it as a coordinate x, then y. X axis goes left and right. So if it's a negative x, it's going to go to the left. If it's a positive x, it's going to go to the right. And then the y-axis is the vertical axis. So if it's a positive y, it's going to go up. If it's a negative y, it's going to go down. So for this first ordered pair, negative 2, 3, it's a negative x value, so we're going to go to the left 2, and then we're going to go up 3, because it's a positive 3 for a y value, and we just plot our point. Then the next ordered pair is 0, so we don't go left or right, and then negative 1, so down 1. And then our last ordered pair is 2, 0, so it's a positive 2, so we're going to go to the right 2, and it's a 0 for our y coordinate, so we're not going to go up or down. So it's right on the x-axis. Number 2 says solve the equation 2x plus 3 equals 21. So for this, we want to get x by itself. The first thing we need to do is get rid of that constant. It's a positive 3, so we're either going to add negative 3 to both sides or just subtract negative 3 from both sides. These cancel and we're left with 2x equals, and then you take 21 minus 3 and you get 18. From there, we have 2 times x. We want to divide both sides by 2. These 2's cancel out, so we're left with x by itself equals, and then we take 18 divided by 2, which is 9. So in this case, x equals 9. The key vocab word for this lesson is linear equation, and it's just an equation whose graph is a line. So any graph that's a line is a linear equation. The word line is right in there. So using a table to find ordered pairs. So this problem says find 4 solutions of y equals 4x plus 3. Write the solutions as ordered pairs. So here we have a function table. We have our x values in one column, our function, which is our equation, y equals 4x plus 3, in the middle, and then we have a y column. What we're going to do is we're going to plug in any values that we want for x. I like to just start with 0, 1, 2, and 3. Really, you can pick any numbers. Then we plug in those x values to x and solve for y. So here we have 4 times, and our x is 0, plus 3. And that's going to give us our y value. 4 times 0 is 0, plus 3, which is 3. So now we have our x value and our y value. We can now write our ordered pair. So our x is 0, our y is 3. Then we're going to do that again with the number 1. So we have 4 times x, that's where we plug in our 1, plus 3. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So again, our ordered pair starts with our x, which was 1, and then our y, which was 7. Then we go to the number 2. I'm going to take 4 times, plug in 2 for x, plus 3. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So our x value here was 2. Our y value was 11. And then for 3, we just plug in 3 for x. So 4 times 3 plus 3. 4 times 3 was 12. Plus 3 is 15. And there's our last ordered pair. We have 3 for x, 15 for y. Because remember, we always write ordered pairs as x, then y. Number 2 says find 4 solutions of y equals 2x minus 4. Write the solutions as ordered pairs, then graph the equation. So first we're going to set up a function table. So I'm going to make 3 columns. I have my x, my function, and I just leave out the y equals. I usually just write 2x minus 4, and then I have my y value. I'm going to pick the numbers 0, 2, 4, and 6 to plug in, because we need to find 4 solutions. Doesn't really matter what numbers you plug in. And then I'm just going to solve. So I'm going to plug in 0 for x, because that's my first x value, minus 4. 2 times 0 is 0, minus 4 is negative 4. So when x is 0, y is going to be negative 4. That's my first ordered pair, 0, negative 4. Then when x is 2, plug in a 2 for x. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 4 is 0. So when x is 2, y is 0. Then for 4, we have 2 times 4 minus 4. Again, I'm just plugging that 4 into the x. 2 times 4 is 8, minus 4 is 4. So when x is 4, y is also 4. And then the last one for 6, I'm going to take 2 times, plug in 6, minus 4. 2 times 6 is 12, minus 4 is 8. So when x is 6, y is 8. So I've made my function table. I have plotted out, or not plotted out, but I've written out my ordered pairs, and now I'm going to plot them. I'm going to graph them. So I'm going to start with 0, negative 4. So I'm going to start at the origin, 0, 0. We're not going left or right. And then negative 4 for y, so we're going to go down 4. So my first point, 0, negative 4. Then we have 2, 0. So it's a positive 2, so I'm going to go to the right 2. And I'm not going to go up or down because it's just 0 for y. Plot that point. Then I have 4, 4. So I go to the right 4, up 4, plot my point. And then I have 6, 8. So I go to the right 6, and I go up 8 and plot my last point. Then we're going to draw our line by connecting these points and add arrows. And there is our linear equation. Here's a real-world example. So games cost $8 to download on a cell phone. Ringtones cost $1. Find 4 solutions of y equals 20 minus 8x in terms of the number of games, which is x. So our games are our x, and ringtones are the y. We want to figure out how many of each of these Darcy can buy if she has $20. Then we're going to explain each solution. So we're going to make a table of the 4 solutions. So I'm going to make my function table where I have x, which is the games. My function is 20 minus 8x, and then I have my y. So I am going to just plug in a few, it says 4, so I'm going to just do 0, 1, 2, and 3. There's 4 numbers there, and then I'm going to plug in and solve. So I have 20 minus 8 times, and I'm going to plug in 0 for x. 8 times 0 is 0. 20 minus 0 is 20. Then if x is 1, I take 20 minus 8 times 1, plug in 1 for x, and I have to do that multiplication first. So 8 times 1 is 8. 20 minus 8 is 12. Then if x is 2, I have 20 minus 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. And then last but not least, we have 3. So 20 minus 8 times 3, plugging in 3 for x. 8 times 3 is 24. 20 minus 24 is going to be negative 4. So now I'm just quickly going to write these as ordered pairs. So when x is 0, y is 20. When x is 1, y is 12. When x is 2, y is 4. And when x is 3, y is negative 4. It then says to explain each solution. So I want to remind you, X represents the games. Games are each $8. Y represents the ringtones. Ringtones are $1. So what this means, this first ordered pair, 0, 20, if you buy 0 games, you can get 20 ringtones. Then the next ordered pair, 1, 12. If you buy 1 game, you can get 12 ringtones. If you buy 2 games, you can get 4 ringtones. And if you buy 3 games, you can get -4 ringtones. You're going to be in debt, okay? And then the last one, Julia has saved $45 already for a new iPod and is saving $25 each week. Use the equation y equals 45 plus 25x to find 4 solutions in terms of how many weeks x she has saved and how much total money Julia has saved. So x is going to be the weeks and y is going to be the money Julia has saved. So we're going to make a table with the 4 solutions. Again, I'm going to make my function table. I have my x. My function is 45 plus 25x. And then I have my y. I'm just going to stick with 0, 1, 2, and 3. You could choose different points if you want. So when x is 0, we have 45 plus 25 times 0. Again, I have to start with that multiplication. 25 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 45 is 45. Then when x is 1, 45 plus 25 times 1. 25 times 1 is 25, plus 45 is 70. And then when x is 2, 45 plus 25 times 2. Again, I have to start with that multiplication first. 25 times 2 is 50. 50 plus 45 is 95. And then last but not least, when x is 3, so I'm plugging in a 3 for x, 25 times 3 is 75. 75 plus 45 is 120. So from here, I'm going to just quickly write out my ordered pairs. So when x is 0, y is 45. When x is 1, y is 70. When x is 2, y is 95. And when x is 3, y is 120. So again, all I'm doing to find my ordered pairs is I'm just taking my x and my y values for each of these numbers. Then it says to explain each solution. So again, x is the weeks, y is the money she's saved. So in 0 weeks, right from the beginning, it's been 0 weeks, she has $45, right? Because she's already saved $45. We knew that. After 1 week, she has now saved $70. After 2 weeks, she has saved $95. And after 3 weeks, she has saved